because usually I'm at the office getting ready for events. With Designs by Lex, we're all about the details. Those details matter. Let's see, I don't know, what is it? Scrolling through. I think so.
Sandra, could
Supposed to
you
be
hand
on
me that?
slideshow. I did put a small slideshow together so y'all can actually see some of the different events, weddings, things that I have done. I do quite a bit here with the community, with United Way, Juliet Lowe with the Girl Scouts and things like that. I graduated from Lawton High, go Wolverines, in 2010. Right now I'm just kind of working on, continue to build the business, for the event and wedding plan. I have traveled. I've actually traveled to Chicago, Killeen, Virginia to do events as well. So I'm kind of stepping out of the box a little bit. And then too, we want to build up the food truck side of things, just trying to find the perfect place to park, put together possibly food truck Fridays, things like that. I have talked to some of the people here in the room about doing that for locations and things like that. And that's pretty much Designs by Lex. I know it's shorter than 6 minutes. Do y'all have any questions? Yes, sir.
Do you have that restaurant on Fort Sill Boulevard?
We used to.
Oh.
We used to a few years ago. Yes, sir.
Lex, looking at venues and different places here, do you coordinate those contracts with those folks, or is it gonna be sort of the folks who are getting married coordinate that? Are you helping that?
Typically, so I scout for venues to host the different events. Sometimes the client does come in and say, hey, I wanna have it here at this place. But for the most part, I'm the one that'll go do vendor research here and long. We are limited on spaces to do things. So that's kind of another thing that too, there's a lot of rule stipulations of what you can and cannot do in some of the venues.
Like what?
Well, some, you can't have music and dancing. Sometimes there's not enough space to actually hold something like this space. I didn't even know that it existed. But this would be nice for a small baby shower, a small birthday party that I could come in and decorate and set up for. Does anybody have any venues, locations? I know the Percolator, I gotta get over there so I can see the space there. Does anybody else have any venues or spaces available?
Talk about food truck deals or just the event location?
Both of them.
For both.
We're trying to get a Friday night every so often. Corner Sheridan and Gore, they've had a couple of Friday nights for about 3 food trucks. I don't know if you were looking into involved in that.
They actually have limited space. We do have one of the largest trailers here. Our trailer goes from about here probably halfway to that room. It's pretty large. So with this, we're not as easy to pull up and park in certain areas. Yes, sir. Dad, what were you saying? You can chime in.
No, I wasn't saying.
Oh.
I was just saying about, you have the full package when it comes to event and wedding planning. It's not just the event and wedding planning, but a lot of people, when they do have an event, they want food for their event, so she actually has the whole package.
As well as the tablecloth, the chair cover, centerpiece, all of that.
So in terms of, just some example, what types of, would you provide for food?
Actually, that's the best part. We can pretty much cater to anybody. We can do Mexican, we can do your home style. The cook is 20 plus years in the military food service, so he's trained very well. But we typically do home style food for the most part.
Very good food, by the way.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm really interested, I think you said that you started your first business when you were 19.
Yes, ma'am.
I know what I was thinking about when I was 19, when it wasn't starting. I'm interested in knowing who inspired you or where you got started,
If I go back, I've always loved doing business. I started my very first business when I was in middle school. I turned my parents' garage into like a daycare. And I used to teach kids and keep them for the summer. We used to have carnival days and things like that. I've just always loved business. And then in high school, I switched over and started cooking because that's my background as well, cooking. I used to sell cookies out of my locker. You weren't supposed to, but and it was called Divine Desserts and Sweet Treats. And I used to do that. So it's one of those things I just always have loved business. And still to this day, I still have so much more I want to do, but I gotta keep it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, I know what's keeping you here is obviously family and.
Most
grounding
definitely.
family. But do you see that struggle with young people of why they're not here a lot, and why they're not sticking around a lot?
I know for a lot of them, it's their support system. I do have a support system. They're at pretty much every single thing I do, even when I go out of town, they're there. And a lot of younger people, they don't feel like they have that support. And it's tough because, of course, we think we know everything. I don't mind to listen and learn, because you always can find out new information, but it's just knowing that somebody supports them and pushing them forward. But then the flip side of that, they're not willing to put in the work all the time either. Because, I mean, it's long hours. Like last night, I didn't leave my office until 11 o'clock, so they're not willing to put in the work. And they never seen it either. They don't have those examples to know, hey, this is what it's about. I actually have some younger people that'll come up there with me, and they're actually gonna come and help me on events and see, this is what it takes to be able to run a business. This is what it takes, just to make it in life. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Were you guys at the 3 Mile Thursday last?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and say the best chicken wings in the world. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I know it would be a thing.
Do you do your own design, or do you have a company?
Typically, so as far as
Like-
programs and stuff,
Programs, or like if a business wanted to host a function, would you be able to use their graphics, and would you supply that, or?
yes. I typically will take your images, your logo and things like that and incorporate it into the actual event. Let's see, I'm working on one now, for example, for Walmart, and I've taken their information, their graphics and things, and put all their stuff together for their event. A lot of times, most people are like, oh, we don't need an event planner, we got it. But when you really think about it, you need that help. A lot of times you miss those small details of calling this vendor, making sure they're here on time. Those are the things that we do, make sure your vendors show up on time, make sure everything is set up properly and things of that nature. Yes, ma'am.
How do you market and promote your business?
Go to events like this. Actually, make sure people know who you are. You have to be out of the office, going to see people. A lot of times for me, that's why I'm there so late, because during the day, I'm at the different venues, I'm at the different functions. Anything that's happening in Lawton, I want to be there. Now it's to the point I can go through a food drop and be like, hey, your design's by Lex, we seen you at such and such. So it's just actually getting out, talking to people. And then too, for me, the best thing is word of mouth. I do functions from 50 people all the way up to 600 people. So with that, I have 600 people I'm pretty much marketing to at every single event that I do. And most of the time it's, hey, who did that event, da 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 da, and that's typically how I get my next job.
Social media is,
Yes,
well,
social media, it does work to a certain extent. For me, it's mainly just so people can see my work. Of course, having good pictures, and Forever Focus actually is like my personal photographer. Anytime I have an event, I make sure that I have a professional out to make sure they get all my images, because this right here is what sells me. I can't go and say, oh, I do this, and don't have anything to back up my work.
So what social media channels do you use?
Here mainly Facebook. I tried Twitter, is not very good. Let me flip it for the food truck side of things. Food truck side of things, Twitter doesn't have a big following here in Lawton, like it does in the city. So here, the best thing has been Facebook, to let people know where you'll be at for the day, what you're having on your menu, things like that. The only problem is you can't always be on your phone if you're serving customers. So that's still something that we're trying to work out and see what will work best. We have talked about possibly getting an app, something like that, so people can download the app, follow, what events you'll be at, and things like that. Yes, sir.
Have you ever purchased ads on Facebook, or do you just do your free posts?
I've tried both just to see what it would do. I actually did better with just sharing and tagging my friends in it versus doing the paid advertisement. Sometimes it feels like for the paid advertisement, it's going to, they like to see it, but they're not really needing it. But I get better advertising with tagging my friends in it, because then all of their friends will see it in that way. question.
Where would you like to see your business in 5 years or 10 years?
Ooh, okay. So, my ultimate goal, I want to have an event center one day. A one-stop shop where you come in and all you have to do is pick, I want this, 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 and this, where you don't have to go and outsource everything. I actually want to see that happen like sooner than 5 years, but, I think this would be a good place to start it. I do, because, some of the places, for example, like in Chicago is, oh my gosh, it was awesome. But there's so many different, venues to choose from, and, there's a certain look too that I want to go for. You don't have the places here with the nice floors and the Shibari chairs and the nice chandeliers, and people want that. And we actually have a lot of people here in London, they'll go all the way to Oklahoma City or to Dallas to have these same events. Why can't we have it here? So. Any other?
Where do you get your inspiration from?
Oh, number one, God, that is number one. Number two, again, my family. I mean, we get together, we'll come up with ideas. My mom's very creative, that's the arts and crafts lady. So any project, as well as Asia, we'll get up there, we'll glitter stuff out, we'll bling it out. That is my area. And then on the other side of things, my daddy imparts a lot of wisdom to me. And then to just hearing and talking to other business owners, it excites me when I see other people get into business, and thrive. I'm all about it. I'm here to help anybody, because a lot of people do ask, well, how did you get started? How did you do this? And again, I always go back, Morgan was the one, I sat down with him. He's the one that actually got me up and going when I first got started those years ago. So, go ahead.
You're old man now.
Any more questions?
For anybody that's looking to start a business, knowing what you know now, what would you tell them?
Go to the professionals. They're here for a reason. Go to the Small Business Development Center. Go to Great Plains. They have the information, and the best part about it is free to use. Why not use those free resources? Because being in business costs a lot of money. So those free resources, use them. Go sit down with them, talk to them, get the information, call another business owner. I actually called another wedding planner. Hey, how did you do this? Don't be afraid to get on the phone and ask those questions. The worst thing they can do and tell you is, no, we're not going to give the information. And then to make sure that you have the backing. If it takes going to a class to get the information, do that. It takes money to make money. Get the education you need. Get the correct permits. Do the stuff the right way. And ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And I will talk you to death. I will ask questions like, oh my goodness, but that's what's helped me get to where I'm at today. I think that's it.
What kind of area would it take to put out a venue for food trucks and get people
There.
there?
With Long Grown, with the food truck industry, it's going to take, you can't be open every single day, because of course people are gonna get tired of seeing you. It's one of those things, maybe twice a month, picking a day, saying, okay, Thursday night, we're gonna have music, we're gonna have the trucks here, and then also, one, finding the property that somebody allow you to park on, then two, which we talked about this at our last one, making sure that whoever owns that property, they're insured, because that's kind of what it boils down to. All the food trucks are insured themselves, but whatever property you are on, they have to also be insured, because if anything does happen, everybody needs to be covered.
I've got the property.
You do?
It's just right on the edge, outside edge of Lawton.
Okay.
So we're not regulated by the city.
Okay. Oh, where's that location?
Well, I haven't developed it yet, but it's straight north on southeast 45th Street.
Okay.
Right straight down from MacArthur High School until you hit Fort Sill. That's my property.
Okay.
All right, so I've got 160 acres, and if we kind of get an area, put some toilet, whatever, portable potties out there. I have no electricity, but.
And that's not even necessary, because all the food trucks are equipped. Yes, sir.
So, I'll give it.
Okay, yes, sir.
I was gonna ask, what about permitting? I know in city limits, there's permits required for just about everything.
Yeah,
Right. We actually just had our inspection 2 days ago. The city of Lawton and then also the Oklahoma Health Department, and pretty much they have this big packet down there with all the information you need. I will say this, so the city has really been working with the food trucks to get the right thing in place to make it easier for us to be able to go park and set up. Before we did have a lot of limitations, so the biggest thing for us, we have to move our truck because you have to go get fresh water, you know, and things of that nature. But for the most part, the permits, I wanna say is what, two or three of them that you have to have. And then, like I said, they made it easy for us, they'll come out and do your inspection for the year, so now if we go to any festival or anything, they don't have to check every single event now, they're doing it for the year. So that's been an awesome thing for us as well.
What about the music side of it? Like, do they have a noise ordinance, like, you have to get a permit to go past a certain time?
Yes,
Are
most
those part of
definitely.
it yet?
Not necessarily, and with that, I wanna say, depending on where you're having it, Parks and Recreation is who we would go talk to about doing that.